Hello, happy Sunday. Happy Super Bowl Sunday, actually. I just found out it was the Super Bowl today because I walked by a sign on the street in Bulgaria that said Super Bowl at 1:30 in the morning. So I guess I'm not watching it, but you're watching a live stream on Traveling with Kristin. So hello. Who's here today? This is going to be a quick stream because it's almost midnight, but I just wanted to hop on a quick live to say thank you for all of that. Yesterday's live stream, my Digital Nomad 101 book. I'm really excited to answer all of your questions and include all of them, of course, in the book. And it just was very, I don't know, I just felt very emotional today reading the people's questions and messages. And I feel like it's a great responsibility to help you guys with this. And I take it so seriously. And it's just overwhelming to think that I could have an impact on people's lives, like being able to live life on your own terms, like to have any small piece of that is just very humbling. And yeah, so I get emotional. Hi, Andrew. I'm great. Thank you. How are you doing? I just had, remember the live stream I did a week ago at the barbecue place with all of that amazing food that you had to order like the day before. We just went there again for another birthday. So I'm so full. It was really good. So I just wanted to thank everyone who asked me questions. Andrew, where are you living right now? Do you have any questions? Were you living in Canada? Are you back in the US? I know you relocated. Is her YouTube channel, and she said, I wish this book was out 2 years ago. I was so lost. My main question was how to connect with other people already doing it. I felt so alone, and my family and friends thought I was crazy. And she says, all the best, and I look forward to more videos. Thank you, Megan, for your question. And I was saying that when I first started, first traveled and lived abroad for the first time, it was in Costa Rica in 2002, and I shipped through the Rotary Foundation. So they paid for it. They had found my housing, my homestay, my language school. I didn't have to do anything. Then I did a semester abroad in Australia, and it was completely different. I had never been to Australia. I had to find a place to live. There was no support from the university for student housing. I remember I ended up paying this agency $80, which was like so much money for me at the time. I think I was like 19 or 20, and to help me find an apartment, and they just took the money and didn't help me. So along the way from like 2002, 2003, after a certain number of years went by, I was like, wow, I wish that I knew what I know now 10, 15 years ago. And I, of course, have a relocation company, and this is what people pay me to help them do. But I wish I could have hired a future version of myself back then, because I know how frustrating it can be. And as Megan said, I also had a really hard time convincing my parents that I wasn't going to get kidnapped or murdered or endangered in some way, shape, or form. And I also struggled with not only convincing my parents, my classmates, my teachers, my guidance counselor, and people like that this was something good to do, moving abroad and working for myself. But I also struggled to meet people at the beginning, and this was before we had all the technology we have today. So it really wasn't until this past year that I made a very distinct goal to learn how to meet other digital nomads and to expand my network, which went from 0 to 1,000 or more in a year. So it's possible. And I have a lot of tips on how to do that. Andrew's headed to Ukraine. Awesome. Oh, am I going to Ukraine? No, I would love to go to Kiev. I've never been, My friend Johnny FD loves it, raves about it. I think he made some videos about it. I would love to go, but I'm not going anytime soon. Hey there. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but Vatericus, hello. It's raining in California. Nice Super Bowl Sunday. Well, if you're staying inside to watch that, then it's okay. Andrew wants to go to Serbia again. You guys know I love Serbia. I have 2 Serbia videos. Love that place. Oh, you were in Kiev. Cool. Let's see, what are some of the other questions? We had a question from Ahmed yesterday. The capital in order to be an online freelancer and a digital nomad. And he also asked about taxes for digital nomads. Also really good questions that I'll definitely include. And I think I'm making a list of certain topics that I definitely think merit their own videos. Whether it's a live stream or like an edited video, we'll see which ones. I'm making a list of like the most important ones I think that are the most critical, basically. Tiago asked, what is the best way to exchange money between different countries? These are super important. Which country to open a bank account? This is something I spend a lot of time researching and analyzing and reworking and re-strategizing all throughout the year because it's always changing. There's always new tools out there. I know Andrew knows about that too. But of course, if you're a digital nomad and you're going to different countries and you're going to make a living, then of course, how you are able to earn money, receive money on a practical level, and then how you move it to where it needs to go, whichever your home country, or paying business expenses, personal expenses. These are all logistical factors that can be really confusing and overwhelming. And there's a lot of ways to do it. And they all have different costs associated with them. So I think that actually should be a separate video. Lavello gave me some advice on self-publishing. Thank you for that. He used Amazon and Kindle Direct Publishing. So thanks for that tip. And Amana69 gave me some really good questions, very detailed. Love that. Thank you so much. He asked some amazing questions. One, is age a factor? Am I too old to start? I'll just go ahead and answer that one right now. You're never too old, and you will be so excited to see a new video that I have coming out on an episode of Badass Digital Nomads that is publishing in a few weeks. And it is with somebody who started his digital nomad journey in his 50s, and he's already been to more countries than me in just a couple of years. And we have like a 45-minute interview that we filmed in Brazil, and we talk all about if it's too late to start or when it's too late and what you need. So I hope that you get to check that video out. And he also asked some questions about how to make your job remote if it's not remote already. What are some skills that are easily monetized for a digital nomad lifestyle? How to find work that matches your skill set? Amazing questions. How long to stay in certain countries, when you need a visa, when you don't. He asked about the legality of working in foreign countries if you're not working online, if you're supplementing your income with in real life and remote work. How much savings should you have before you take the leap to becoming a digital nomad? How to balance fun and work and travel, how to combat loneliness. Awesome questions. I think I have a couple of videos on loneliness already. I'll link to one and a blog article on that, or a couple blog articles on that. How to approach relationships with locals, with other nomads, romantic relationships, how to travel light. You guys, I'm the worst. I'm the best at packing as far as being organized and having everything I need, but I definitely overpack. So I still know how to pack light, but because I travel with all that camera equipment and everything, it just gets really heavy. And he also asked about all sorts of things, visa runs, how much money to save before you change locations, how much insurance do you need? What type of medical and travel insurance? That's a super complex topic. That's an annoying topic, actually, but it's very important. So I wrote down to do a separate video on that as well. And then how to stay in a country on a long-term basis. Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies for that. And that was from Darren. Thank you, Darren, for all of those questions. I'll definitely address them in a combination of videos and in the book. So you're good. I got you. Hey, Ahmed, how's it going? 50 and started. Yeah, he was 50. He already had a wife, divorced, and kids, 3 kids. And he was waiting until they got to a certain age. And then he decided to start his digital nomad journey. And he transitioned from radio to podcasting. And he has a few different income streams and really interesting interviews. So I'll let you guys know whenever that video is out. Actually, I can tell you right now. Content calendar. This guys. Who's here? Hey, Frank. Hey, Alex. Yes, I'm still in Bansko. I am here until March. Actually, I just got my ticket yesterday to leave. So until March 12th. Yes. So I will leave Bansko on the 11th. I'll stay the night in Sofia. And then on the 12th, I fly to France and to Lyon. And then I somehow get to the French Alps. Haven't figured that out yet. And then I will be there for 2 weeks. And then I think I'm going to get back to either Switzerland or France, fly to Amsterdam, and then to the US for a couple weeks in April. That's the plan so far. Okay, when is this video going to be published? It might not be published. Okay, right now I have it set for, oh no, unstable connection. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's I think one of the things that I think was missing from my life, even while I was traveling and semi-nomadic, living in different countries. When I went from expat to fully nomadic, my social circle changed a lot. And it went from living in places like Costa Rica with a big base of foreigners and locals and local expats to just living on the road. And so I had to make some adjustments there. But now I'm really definitely very satisfied with the amount of amazing connections and friendships that I have, personal, professional, business relationships with people all over the world now. It's been something that I focused on in the last year, and I have really expanded my network and learned a lot of ways to do that I can share with you guys. Oh, Alex says Bansko is pronounced Bunsko. It's more the way that I hear people saying it. It's like Bansko or something. I can't pronounce it that well because I don't speak Bulgarian. But today or yesterday, I was talking to, actually today, I went to dinner with a lot of expats from the US and different countries who are living in Amsterdam, and they all became friends. And then they came on a ski trip here. And I know one of them because we have mutual friends that we're going to France together, but we never met. So he happened to be here. And we were talking about how everyone pronounces Ibiza, like the island in Spain. Everyone pronounces it with a Spanish accent, and they say like Ibiza because Spaniard Spanish has a lisp. But in fact, most of the people who pronounce it that way don't speak Spanish, and they definitely don't speak Spanish with a Spanish accent. And so we were laughing because we do speak Spanish, but we still pronounce it Ibiza because we speak English as our native language. So we don't try to pronounce it in that way. Like if I say, oh, I'm going to Mexico, I don't say I'm going to Mexico. But if I'm in a Spanish-speaking country and I'm speaking in Spanish to people, I will pronounce it Mexico. But in my normal English language, I would not do that. So that's kind of how it is, I guess. The same with like any Spanish word, like Peru, for example. If I'm talking to you guys in English, I will say Peru. But if I'm I will say, so I guess that's why I say Bansko in my gringa accent. I try to pronounce it the way that they do. So that's a long-winded story, Alex, but that's the explanation, and that's my I guess that's my outlook on how to pronounce different places. Like if I go to Paris, I'm not going to say Paris because I don't speak French. I'm going to say croissant. I'm not going to say croissant because, again, no French. Andrew says, you are always a positive person. I love it. Well, thank you. Thanks, Andrew. I'm a little tired. I was a little hungover today. I'm a lightweight. I had 3 drinks last night and I was hungover. So I am, my baseline status quo is happy though and positive. So that's accurate. It says, what do you think about internship in scuba diving in Bali? Yeah, if you want to be a scuba instructor, for sure. I do have a friend in that field exactly, and that friend is Johnny FD. He went to Thailand and became a certified scuba instructor and lived there for a few years teaching scuba diving or doing scuba like that. So my foot is asleep. Yes, so Johnny FD, just Google him with scuba diving and you can comment over there and tell him you're my friend. He will help you, but I don't know much about it. I am certified at scuba diving, but it's never really worked out for me because I used to be a surfer. So I would just go surfing instead of scuba diving. And I have a trauma from high school where my scuba instructor yelled at me because I dropped a weight on them and shattered like a $80 or $90 mask. I just thought of that the other day. I was like, I wonder if that traumatized me from scuba diving. The last time I went scuba diving was 2008 in Nicaragua and in the Corn Islands, which was really cool. It's a little corn island. They don't have any cars. It's just like you can walk around the whole island. And they were talking about white lobster, AKA bricks of cocaine that get thrown into the ocean because Nicaragua, our ocean drugs go through that area. And sometimes they get dropped in the water and they wash up on the reef. That's random information for you guys. Nicholas, what's up, Nicholas? What are your top 3 destinations for digital nomads? Ooh, I have a lot of videos on that. I have it depends on who you are. I have my favorite destinations for digital nomad girls, digital nomads in general, new digital nomads, budget destinations. So it depends on your criteria, what you're looking for. But I think in general, for me right now, I do think that Bansko is one of my favorite places because it meets everything that I look for in a digital nomad destination. And it just depends on the time of year and what you want. But a lot of people love Chiang Mai. I've never been there during the right time of year to see the magic that everyone else sees in it. I've only been during the off season. So I haven't really experienced the type of community that's there. And the other hot place for digital nomads is Bali. And I really don't like working in Bali. I love Bali to go visit, but I don't like working there because I feel like it's very hot and very distracting. And I don't know, I just don't feel like I'm in work mode so much when I'm there. So I don't really like those places. But what I do like my favorite places to live are like Bansko, Bulgaria for sure. I really like Lisbon. I think it has everything that you need as a digital nomad. I also, even though I typically don't like tropical places because it is hard to work, I really like Playa del Carmen. I feel like it's a very convenient place for digital nomads to live. It's safe, it's very walkable, it's very affordable. They have fiber optic internet. A lot of things are open 24/7. There's co-working spaces, there's food delivery, and it just makes it a very easy place to live. So that's what I'm looking for in a digital nomad destination. Something with good transportation, low cost of living, fast internet, good digital nomad community, and good work-life balance. So those are some of my favorite spots. But then like me personally, I like to go to like digital nomad events and retreats and then retreat myself and go to a place that might not have many digital nomads like Amsterdam and live there, which goes, it conflicts with a lot of the things that I typically look for because it's expensive. It's there's not that many digital nomads, or there's not like a really big nomadic community, but I still love to live there. So at the end of the day, there's good places for digital nomads that make sense on paper, but then it just depends on what you're looking at. Like you might want to go somewhere to go surfing, you might want to go somewhere for like the culture or to learn a language or whatever. So it's just balancing that, like part art, part science. Alex, I don't know anything else in Bulgarian. I can't even say thank you in Bulgarian. They have the Bulgarian word and then everybody says merci. I just go with that because I can pronounce it better. I need to learn though, at least the alphabet. Ahmed says he will be in touch. Okay, great. Yes, let us know how it goes. And definitely look up Johnny FD scuba diving. Just Google that and you'll find a lot of stuff. Andrew asks, what part of Miami did I live in? My family's from Miami Springs. I was born in Vero Beach, and now my family lives in St. Augustine, so always from Florida. Nicholas asked, does Playa del Carmen English speaking? It is Spanish speaking, but English is very available there. A lot of people speak English. You really don't need to know Spanish to live there. So like a place like Bulgaria, it's helpful to know the language, but there's certain places in Mexico where everybody speaks English. So that's one of them. It's getting cold in here. Okay, guys, thank you so much for all of these questions today and yesterday, and for all of the support and excitement about the book. That makes me really excited to finish it. So it should be done in about maximum, I don't know. I think it should be done within a month or 6 weeks, but it won't be published probably for another couple months after that. So I'll let you know. Alex, can I be a nomad without YouTube? Yes, for sure. I only started my channel in January of last year. There's a big misconception about being a digital nomad being a job, and it's not, and it doesn't have to relate to travel. Like your identity as a digital nomad doesn't have to be the way that you make money. So you can be a digital nomad and make money from something that has nothing to do with travel or a personal brand or social media or anything like that. In fact, my channel is monetized, but I don't even put ads on it. So I don't make any money from this channel. If I was a full-time YouTuber, would be like digital nomad YouTubers. So I mean, I'm sure I can monetize the channel in different ways, and I probably will, but it's not my source of income. So a lot of people who want to become digital nomads, that's probably competitive, time to start making money that way. So even though I'm not a blogger, I write about digital nomadism. And so then after doing meals or paid talks and things like that, so you can get money that way. So but you can do, I would say do a YouTube channel for fun if that's what you want to do. But it can be about any topic. It doesn't have to be about this. The reason that my channel is about this is because this is part of my career path, my occupation, my identity, and my entire life basically has revolved around travel, remote work. I studied corporate relocations in college, international human resources management, international business. So this has been always a part of me and who I am since I was a teenager. So that's why my channel is about this topic. But if I was a digital nomad nutritionist or a chef or something like that, I could make a channel about that. That would have nothing to do with being a digital nomad, but about food or something else. So I'm just not a good cook. Sorry. Yeah, I think the internet has been really slow here today. I don't know why. There's no reason for anyone in Bulgaria to have slow internet because it's so cheap. You can get hundreds of megabits per second for like $30. So I don't know why people have slow connections here. It's very annoying. So yeah, basically my income does not come from YouTube. It comes from my consulting company. But it is possible to make money on YouTube, of course. There's many ways of doing that. I'll probably get around to it at some point. Andrew, can we meet together? I don't know. Maybe. I want to do a retreat or like an IRL retreat this year with a small group of people to help them with their digital nomad journeys. So I haven't announced that or planned it yet, but in like the third or fourth quarter of the year, probably. So if you want to come to my retreat, Nicholas says, what's the best thing about being a digital nomad? I have a video on that, the best things about being a digital nomad. So I'll link that in the description. But for me, the best thing about it is just the day-to-day complete freedom that I have. Like I worked once in an office for 2 weeks and it just wasn't for me. I just love making my schedule every day. I like being able to take days off whenever I want. I like being able to work whatever hours I want. I like to choose what my income, like where it comes from. So I can choose what I do for work. I don't have to work for anybody. And it just is like a really natural way of life. I can't imagine being told what to do, basically. It was bad enough when I worked in real estate and I had a real estate broker who was kind of always looking over my shoulder and that I had to report to in a way. So I just really, really enjoy the freedom of being able to do whatever I want every day. It doesn't mean that I don't work a lot or that I slack off or anything, but I just like to be in control of that. And that leads to so many other things, from traveling to tiny decisions of like, not having to ask permission to take a break or a lunch break or things like that. And then the other major thing that I love about being a digital nomad is, there's benefits like you can influence your cost of living and things like that. But the main thing is being able to spend more time with the people who I like and the people who I care about. So being able to spend a few weeks or a month or even more time living next to my brother or my sister or my parents or my grandparents and being able to attend any sort of family event, friends event, weddings, vacations that other people are going on, being able to meet up with them and spend quality time with them and not having to have a limited amount of vacation days. So I can meet a friend on a business trip in the Philippines, or I can go live next door to my brother, or whenever he had his baby, I went to visit for an extended amount of time, and I could work and without, having to really disrupt my life at all. So I think that is the biggest thing. There's a really good blog by Tim Urban. It's called Wait But Why, and he does basically puts each year of your life into squares, and it shows how much time you have left once you hit 18, how much time you have left with your parents, with your siblings, with your relatives, and it's like a very small amount, like a couple percent of your whole entire lifespan. So I've been able to quadruple that or more. I spend more quality time with my family and friends than I would if I had a corporate job in the US, for sure. Alex asks if I'm able to sustain myself like this for good. Yeah, I think so. Also, in the interview with Pale, who's the guy who's in his 50s, who's a digital nomad, we were talking about how I think if I've been able to do it this long, I can do it forever, because it's been over 10 years. But we were talking about all of the new ways of making money online that are available now, and how many more ways there will be, and how much better we will be at generating online revenue in the next 20 years. So even though eventually, hopefully, we'll get to like a retired age in our 60s, but we'll still have income coming in. And as long as your brain is working, you can still work remotely, because we're knowledge workers. So it's not like a physical manual labor job where you have to out, like if you're a coal miner or something. This way, as long as you can think and use a laptop, you can make money. So I think it will just keep getting better and better. Ahmed asks if he says he thinks that digital nomads should be minimalist. Do I agree? Yes, I do. Actually, I have a separate topic in the book about digital nomad minimalism, because it's a lower form of consumption. And if you can go a few years with just a suitcase or a backpack, then do you really need more stuff? If you never have a place to store stuff, you just don't accumulate as much stuff. So you can spend more money on other things, or save it, or invest it, or whatever. You have that choice. Even in college, my friends used to ask me, how could I have enough money to travel? Because we were in college, and I just saved all my money for travel. I didn't spend it on clothes. I didn't spend it on drinking. I saved it and spent it on plane tickets. So I guess I was practicing minimalism at that point too. Hey, Johnny Ray is here. Hello from Florida. Hello. You guys, I need to go, because today is my Sunday live stream in my group called Long-Term Digital Nomad Success on Facebook. So if you guys want to join that group too, the link is on my YouTube page. And I think it's in every video description, actually. So you guys can feel free to join that. It's free. It's just a way to talk more with people one-on-one about the digital nomad lifestyle. But I only do a live stream there once a week, and it's today. So I got to go do that and then go to bed. But thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for all the questions and feedback. And I'm here. So come back tomorrow. Bye, guys. Bye, Andrew and Johnny and Alex and Nicholas and everyone, Ahmed, everyone who's hanging out. Have a great Sunday, guys.